Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. This is a statement on an issue on national concern. Tribute to the late Honorable J.M. Kariuki on the 50th anniversary of his death. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52-1 to make a statement on a matter of national concern, namely to pay tribute to the late Honorable Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, known as J.M. Kariuki, a fearless patriot, a visionary leader, and a champion of social justice. As we mark 50 years since his assassination on the 2nd of March 1975, his life, legacy, and the values he stood for remain deeply relevant to our nation today. Honorable Speaker, J.M. Kariuki's advocacy for the common mwananchi shook the very foundations of power. He was a man who spoke truth to authority, unafraid to expose the widening gap between the wealthy elite and the struggling masses. His famous words, "Kenya is a country of 10 millionaires and 10 million beggars," still ring true even 5 decades later. Today, despite Kenya's independence and economic progress, we find ourselves in a situation where a small elite controls the vast majority of wealth, while millions of citizens continue to struggle under the weight of poverty, unemployment, and inequality. Born in 1929 in Kabati, Nyandarua County, J.M. Kariuki came from humble beginnings. Despite financial hardships, he pursued education, attending King's College, Budo in Uganda, an opportunity that broadened his political awareness. Inspired by Jomo Kenyatta's speeches, he became an ardent critic of colonial rule. Mr. Speaker, sir, J.M. Kariuki played an active role in the Mau Mau movement, serving as a liaison officer, organizing logistics for freedom fighters. This commitment led to his arrest in 1953, and he spent 7 years in detention camps under the British rule. Upon his release in 1960, he remained steadfast in his advocacy for justice, land reform, and economic equality. After Kenya's independence in 1963, he served as President Jomo Kenyatta's private secretary before becoming a member of parliament for Nyandarua North constituency. His legacy was defined by his outspoken critique of corruption, economic exploitation, and social injustice. Mr. Speaker, sir, J.M. Kariuki's courage made him a target. On the 2nd of March 1975, he was last seen at Hilton Hotel in Nairobi in the company of state security officials. Days later, his mutilated body was discovered in Ngong Forest, sparkling a national outrage. A parliamentary committee implicated senior police and government officers, yet no one has been held accountable, making his assassination one of Kenya's darkest political injustices. As we commemorate 50 years since his passing, we must ask ourselves, how have we upheld the ideals that he fought for? How have we made Kenya a land where all can thrive, not just survive? Sadly, his warnings remain a reality. While we may no longer speak of 10 million beggars, today 50 million Kenyans still face economic hardship, struggling to afford basic needs, access to health care, and secure decent employment. Mr. Speaker, sir, J.M. Kariuki stood for universal and accessible health care. Yet today, millions of Kenyans are trapped in a failing social health authority system, unable to get medical treatment when they need it most. He spoke against economic oppression. Yet today, the cost of living is suffocating Kenyans, with unfulfilled promises of relief and rising unemployment. This anniversary should not just be another ceremonial remembrance. It must be a moment of reflection and rededication to J.M. Kariuki's vision. We must demand greater accountability from ourselves, fellow leaders, champions of economic policies that uplift the poor, and work towards a Kenya that truly serves all its people, not just the privileged few. We cannot afford to let his sacrifice be in vain. May his soul continue resting in peace. May we never forget the lessons he left us. I thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 53-1. Senator Beatrice Ogola. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I understand the import of the statement by the Honorable Senator Methu and the difficulty you will have if you are to accept my request, being that given who JM was, and given that this is 50 years later, and given that JM spoke in this house, could you please try and allow us to say one word to comfort the family and encourage them that JM will never die?
I will, at the appropriate time, give guidance on that. Senator Beatrice Ogola.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a request for a statement on the poor living conditions of police officers' living quarters in Dewa Police Station in Homa Bay County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the poor living conditions of police officers in Dewa Police Station in Homa Bay County. In the statement, the committee should address the following, Mr. Speaker, sir. 1, the state of living quarters for police officers at Dewa Police Station in Homa Bay County, including the availability and condition of basic amenities such as water, as well as sanitation facilities. 2, the framework of the provision of housing and basic amenities to police officers by the government, including the measures put in place to ensure the facilities are regularly renovated and upgraded. 3, the plans and timelines for the construction of decent living quarters for police officers at Dewa Police Station, indicating the budgetary requirements for the same. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, sir, the actions being taken by the government to enhance the overall welfare of police officers, particularly with respect to their remuneration and support for their mental and physical well-being. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator John Methu.
Honorable Speaker, I want to seek your indulgence that because I have 4 statements, I read them at a go, if you allow me.
Yes, you may proceed.
A request for statement on inequitable distribution of fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries regarding the inequitable distribution of fertilizer in the highland regions of Kenya as reflected in the latest report from the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB, on fertilizer dispatch as at of 11th of March 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, the highland regions of Kenya, known for their high agricultural productivity, rely heavily on fertilizer to sustain food security and economic growth. However, a review of the fertilizer distribution data reveals significant disparities, with some counties receiving disproportionately large quantities, while others, equally dependent on agriculture, receiving far less. For instance, Honorable Speaker, Uasin Gishu County received 413,000 bags, 103, accounting for 20.99% of the total fertilizer distribution, whereas counties such as Muranga received 7,650 bags, Nyeri received 8,760 bags, and Kirinyaga received 280 bags, which is significantly lower allocations despite their agricultural potential. Nakuru County received 204,764 bags, nearly 10% of the total allocation, while counties like Meru received 12,910 bags, and Tharaka Nithi got 5,940 bags received, which are significantly less. Some agricultural counties such as Marsabit and Saburu did not receive any fertilizer allocation at all, raising questions about regional balance in the distribution. In the statement, therefore, the committee should address the following. Number one, the methodology and criteria used by the Ministry of Agriculture and the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB, in determining the fertilizer allocations to various counties. Number two, justification for the significantly low allocation to certain highland agricultural counties, despite their critical role in national food production. Number three, the government's strategy to ensure fair and equitable distribution of fertilizer subsidies and to prevent the marginalization of key farming regions. Number four, evidence on whether farmer registration data and actual county level demand were considered in the allocation process, and clarification on any inconsistencies identified. Number five, corrective measures being implemented to address these disparities and ensure that all farmers have fair access to fertilizers. Senator John Methu, Senator for Nyandarua. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the continued delay in the disbursement of Higher Education Loans Board funds, which has left thousands of university students stranded and unable to meet their basic needs. Mr. Speaker, sir, despite assurances from the government that help funds would be disbursed by Friday, 15th of March 2025, many students are yet to receive their financial aid. Students require immediate and tangible action, not verbal commitments that do not translate into actual disbursements. The failure to release funds in a timely manner has exposed thousands of young Kenyans to evictions, hunger, mental distress, and inability to attend classes due to unpaid fees. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, the concrete measures being taken by the government to ensure the immediate disbursement of help funds, including a clear and accountable timeline for payment. Number two, the total number of students affected by the delay with a county-based breakdown to assess the scale of the crisis, specifying the interventions in place to prevent future delays and guarantee timely and predictable disbursement to all students going forward. Number three, the financial position of HELP, including the amount allocated for the current academic year, to the total disbursed so far and the outstanding balances. Number four, the government's plan to enhance HELP allocation and to align with the rising cost of living, ensuring students receive adequate financial support. Number five, there are accountability mechanisms in place to prevent the recurrence of such delays, including clarity on whether the National Treasury has released the required funds to help. Senator John Methu, MP, Senator for Nyandarua County. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism regarding the capability of the management of the Kenya Union of Savings and Credit Cooperative Society, KUSCO, following financial losses suffered by Savings and Credit Cooperative Societies, SACCOs, in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, this matter is of national concern and urgent action has shaken the confidence of many Kenyans in the SACCO sector, which for a long time has been a safe haven for members had earned savings. Therefore, this management must be queried and those responsible must face the full force of the law. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, the extent of financial loss incurred by SACCOs across the county, and particularly Tower SACCO and Moki SACCO, circles in Nyandarua County due to investment linked to Cusco. Number 2, the culpability of Cusco directors and senior management in the mismanagement of circle funds, including whether they acted negligently or fraudulently in handling investments. Number 3, the specific steps being undertaken to hold Cusco directors accountable, including criminal investigation, potential asset seizures, and legal actions to recover lost funds. Senator John Muhia Methu, MP, Senator from Nyandarua. Finally, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Order, honorable senators. May the Senator from Nyandarua be heard in silence.
Thank you for protection, honorable Speaker. I see my colleagues are quite excited that I'm now very, very busy. I'm no longer a chairman, so I have a lot of time. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget regarding the rapid increase in Kenya's public debt and its implications for the economic stability, financial sustainability, and service delivery. Mr. Speaker, sir, Kenya's total public and publicly guaranteed debt has surged to Kenya shillings 11.02 trillion as of January 2025, accounting for 65.7% of the gross domestic product, GDP. This level of indebtedness exceeds the 55% GDP threshold recommended under the Public Financial Management, PFM framework. The rapid accumulation of debt is compounded by ballooning debt servicing costs, persistent fiscal deficit, and reliance on external borrowing on external borrowing. Of particular concern is the bilateral debt. Bilateral debt stands at 1.09 trillion, which China holds 60.6% of this amount. The country now faces the risk of being trapped in a debt cycle that threatens national sovereignty, economic growth, and service delivery. In the statement, therefore, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the measures being taken by government to ensure that Kenya's public debt remains within sustainable levels for safeguarding national development priorities. Number 2, the strategies in place to balance borrowing and revenue collection, particularly in light of Kenya's continued dependence on external financing for key infrastructure projects. Number 3, the status of physical consolidation measures aimed at reducing wasteful government expenditure and enhancing domestic revenue mobilization. 4, the government's plan to manage debt servicing obligations, including the steps being taken to renegotiate payment terms with major creditors such as China and multilateral lenders. Number 5, the impact of rising public debt on critical government services, including education, healthcare, and infrastructure, and whether there are plans to mitigate the economic burden of debt repayment on citizens. Number 6, and finally, the accountability mechanisms in place to curb reckless borrowing and ensure that all borrowed funds are utilized transparently, efficiently, and in line with national development priorities. Senator John Muhia Methu, MP, Senator for Nyandarua.